What's up, guys? Welcome to the Masked Metalhead music channel. Today we are going to be introducing two new lessons, and the first is going to be finger strength, and the second is going to be fretboard navigation. We're going to start to dissect this thing apart, and we're going to start to learn where all the notes fall on it and start to piece it all together. There will be two PDF tablatures attached in the description, so download those so you can practice throughout the week. The first drill is going to be on finger strength, okay? And what we're going to aim for here is really good technique with your left hand, okay? And we're going to start to improve the strength that we have to push down on this fretboard and make really good notes, some really good sounding notes. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to have our thumb on the back of the fretboard here, okay? And we are going to have our fingers come in at a nice arch when they come to meet the fretboard. Okay, when they're pushing that string down, they're at a good arch because they're pushing with the tip of the finger. They're pushing just like that. They're not pushing with the pad, they're pushing with the tip of the finger. Okay, so we're going to come in at it and we're going to go. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to do that on each string. 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. That whole time we're focusing on our thumb being in the middle of the neck in the back, okay, and pushing up. Our fingers are pushing down perpendicular to this fretboard. We're creating that good arch. That's going to come in handy later when we start to learn chords and when we start to just let notes ring out and then play another string. You can't be thudding out the strings below when you're playing a note. You can't be doing this, playing this note, and then not able to play any of the other ones because you're thudding it out. You need that good arch so that you can play the other strings at the same time. Now, like I said, we're going to work our way back down the fretboard. So after we go up in 5, 6, 7, 8 on each string, we're going to come back down in 8, 7, 6, 5 on each string. So we're going to go. So starting out, an octave is a difference in pitch that's double an octave below it or half an octave above it. Okay, so if I'm playing an E down here, an open E, then I can also play an E up here on the 12th fret because that's double the frequency. Now, a fret is a half step, okay? So is a key on the piano. This is a half step, another half step, another half step, okay? That's half steps right there, okay? Now, there's 12 half steps in an octave. So if this is the first octave E, then this is the second octave E. You'd have the third octave E up here. And each of those is doubling the frequency before. The guitar is tuned into fourths with one major third being the change from G to B, where we are going an equal note to an equal note to an equal note to an equal note. Those are the exact same. They're not octaves apart. It is the same note. We are on the 5th fret of a string. The next open string is that exact same note. So a 5 on the E is an A, which is the open next string. A 5 on the A is a D, which is the open next string. D, 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 D. Okay? And then we go 5, 4, 5 again. Okay? Because this is our fancy one. You gotta drop down one because that's a major third interval, not a fourth interval. That's not important. We'll do music theory. Since these are equal, this is 5 half steps apart. Therefore, if we go up here on the 7th fret of the A string, of the second string, and we play the 12th fret of the E string, the first string, these are gonna be the exact same note. This is 5 half steps apart. So this is too. Anyways, playing this is the same as this. So another octave.
Because again, that 12th fret is the octave for this E string and for everyone.
Okay, those are all octaves for each of the strings. You can play a 12 on any string, and it'll be the same as a 0 on that exact same string. It'll be an octave up at the exact same note, okay? So now, that means that the 7th fret of the next string, because of the 5 half step difference, is also that octave. So we can play those and that's on octave. Now if we take another 5 half steps away and 1 more string up, it lands us at the 2nd fret, the D string. All those 3 are the exact same note. And this is still, just like this and this were, is an octave higher than this open E.
So that is how octaves work on guitar or bass. Exact same thing on bass. I'm not even going to show it. Now an A has even more that we can show a little bit more easily. Because you can keep going with the E. You can keep going, and this is an E2, this is an E, this is an E2, this is an E, this is an E2, this is an E, and you can keep going down and find all the E's. But A is a little bit easier to show. So this is an E2, this is an E.
Play a 5th fret on the E string and you have an A. Play an open A string and of course you have an A. Play a 12 on the A string and you have an A. Play a 7 on the D string because again we're going up a string and down 5 frets. Okay? That's still an A. That's an octave up from that open A. These 2 are the exact same. These are an octave apart. These are exactly the same. Now, again, we can go down 5 more frets and up 1 more string. So now we're down here. Still an octave. They're both A's. Okay. Now this next jump we're gonna go up a string, and we're gonna go since this is your major 3rd interval string jump from G to B. It's gonna be different. It's not quite up a string minus 5. It's up a string minus 4. I had to make sure it wasn't 6, it's 4. Okay, so from here, we added 12 half steps, we added 12 frets from the 2 up to the 14 to make it an octave higher. So now, if this was octave 1, and this is octave 2, this is octave 3. Okay, now we're in octave 3. Same note right here, we're still in octave 3, and this is still an A. And now, we can make 1 more. We can go from here, down 5. And now we're playing an A there. Okay, you could bring it all the way up here, and that's the highest A you can play on the guitar. Okay, so that's all the positions that you can play. I guess that would make 4 octaves of the exact same note. You know, we started. Those are all A's. That one too. So I want you to practice those and try to memorize those intervals. The main 2 ones, actually the main 3 that I want you to memorize. And this first one's easy.
See this 12th fret here? It's like a weird spacing. You have all these markings here. You have 3, 5, 7, 9, and then there's 2 double spaces on the side of it. These have to do with harmonics, and I'll teach you those later. And harmonics have to do with octaves as well. But this 12 here is special marks.
Super easy to memorize. The next one I want you to memorize is this 7 jump. So up 1 string and up 7 frets is an octave. Memorize that. Okay, the next one to memorize is the 2. So now you're up 2 strings and up 2 frets as well. Okay, so if you move 0 strings, you need to move 12 frets. If you move 1 string, you need to move up 7 frets. And if you move up 2 strings, you only move up 2 frets. Okay? So memorize those. Get those down. If you want to practice the A as well, those were all E. If you want to practice the A as well, I included that in the tablature.
And if you can start to memorize where that is, then you can be playing crazy stuff. You know, if you're playing Van Halen and you're up here, you're like, oh, that's an A. You know, and how do you memorize that? It's not because you memorize every single note here. It's because you recognize that is 5 steps, 5 half steps, higher than the 12E, which is an octave higher than the E. So you're essentially playing this same note, which you know is an A. So you only need to memorize a couple notes, and then you just need to know the movements that you can make that create the same notes in different octaves, if that makes sense.
So these strings are tuned to E, A, D, G, B, E. That is standard tuning. There's plenty of other ways that you can tune, but that's what we're going to start with because that is just standard. You're going to tune it using your tuner. If you don't have one, you can get them on Amazon since all the stores are closed right now. And if you can't do that, then phone apps work too. They just work less. This week's homework will be to memorize those E and A positions for all the octaves. as well as improving your finger strength. Next week, we're going to start introducing a little bit of scales. We're going to start with some easier ones and move slightly harder until you know about 5 or 6 really important ones. And from there, we're going to learn chords. So you need to make sure to arch your fingers so that you can get clean chords out when you want to. Okay, none of these are thudding out because I have nice arched fingers here. Thank you for watching. Next week, we are going to start learning a couple scales, maybe 1, maybe 2. And if you have your finger strength down and if you have a little bit of knowledge on where a couple octaves are on this fretboard, it'll start to be a breeze for you. You'll start to see patterns, and learning all the scales will start to just really come together a lot more smoothly if you have that little bit of knowledge down about the fretboard and about different intervals that you can create on the strings. So make sure to practice 15 minutes a day, and I will post again next week. Thank you, guys.